Hello everybody, I'm Baltmatrix, and today we're taking a look at Transformers Kingdom Deluxe class tracks. Now we're starting out this video review in vehicle mode because this is the only good part of the figure. Sorry to bring you bad news. We'll get into it. Okay, vehicle mode is perfectly fine in car mode once you get it there, except for one thing which I'll talk about in just a sec. The car mode does have the ability to mount the guns and the missiles on the back of the vehicle mode, and that is the only place that they can go. They can't go anywhere else. The car comes with two accessories. This top-mounted missile rack that doesn't look anything like Trax's missiles, and this gun, which I guess looks like Trax's gun. It's got these two little pegs on either side that make you think, oh, well, maybe it can peg in somewhere. It can't! The vehicle mode we have here is a Chevy Corvette C3 from 1982/1983. The vehicle mode is close enough while being different enough to be legally distinct. So Hasbro doesn't have to pay Chevy any money. Now the vehicle mode does hold together except in the very front, where these little pins are just too damn short to actually hold the front of the vehicle mode together. Yeah. No matter how hard you push, no matter how you line it up, no matter how much you twist, parts pop off. It just does. The giant flaming Autobot symbol on the hood, or bonnet if you will, works very well, and then there's black accents all over the figure, which I do appreciate. And by all over the figure, I mean just here in the front for the air intakes. Nothing else is painted except, well, at least the wheel arches, the hubcaps and the wheels are painted distinct colors. I do appreciate that. Now, one thing you might have already noticed, this little white piece of plastic. Every time I pick up the damn thing and start moving and fiddling with it, chunks of plastic fall off. Black plastic, blue plastic, clear plastic, white plastic. Chunks just fall off. And speaking of things that make me fall into a pit of despair, okay, this entire section from the halfway up the hood, or 3/4 of the way up the hood, all the way to the trunk is clear plastic with painted blue. That's why it's a different shade of blue from the rest of the figure, because the blue plastic is just paint. And that's why the figure is two-tone, because clear plastic has just blue paint put over it, as opposed to being modeled in that. Yeah, I get it. It's to save money, it's to save cost, it's to save room in some factory somewhere. I get it. It sucks, though. Trax does have a flight mode to do that, to transform it into that. Come to the very back of the figure and flip up the tail wings. Come underneath the figure and grab the fists. That getting these unpegged is a bit of a hassle. But you have to get the wrists unpegged first, and then fold out, flip around, and flip those forward, flip out the wings, and then turn that. And do that on the other side, and pray to Primus that you don't break something while you're trying to do this, because I'm not going to lie, this figure is fragile as hell. The flight mode we end up with is fine. It's very Generation 1 accurate, and it works well. I don't know, it just doesn't work for me anymore. It's 2021. A 1983 flying car just isn't fun anymore. Or maybe I'm just old. It's probably the latter. In terms of size, here's Kingdom, I think, Blue Streak, and Jazz from Studio Series. Roughly the same size. Yeah, that's a good size comparison, don't you think? Yeah, that'll work. Sure. Transformation into robot mode. Well, we've already done some of it. So to start off with, flip up the rear tail wings, come to the arms, which are obviously sticking out, and flip out the fists. Like that. Now, this is where things get dicey. Now, the rest of the transformation is dicey. Because of the clear plastic and the way this thing transforms and is assembled, I am so afraid I'm going to break things. This area up towards the front of the, cab, the leg connects to the clear plastic, and I end up just kind of winging it a little bit and pushing the sides of the front of the vehicle mode down, and then coming up to the front and praying to the clear plastic gods that I can unclip the hood before anything breaks, or hopefully nothing will break. That is scary. This does not feel good at all. These two bits of hard plastic connect together and then sandwich underneath this clear plastic part and peg in very tightly. And then these little tiny tabs fit just underneath the hood. And getting it back into vehicle mode is just a pain, and it's a terrifying pain. Now that we have the feet facing forward, flip open these gray panels, grab the wheel section and flip it forward. At the same time, pull the legs up from underneath the hood like that, and then we can flip and accordion down the legs and then close these gray panels. So we'll do it again on the other side. Open the panel, grab the foot in the whole section, and move it forward until it's just above this gray leg section. Pull the leg out, then flip and pull and hinge the foot down, and then close up the gray panel. The gray panels will peg into these little areas that are just behind the knees, and they become the knees. And then the feet, well, they act like they should peg in somewhere, but they effing don't. Grab the entire roof of the car, lift it up, turn it 180 degrees, come to the chest just underneath the head and pull it all the way forward, and then the entire back will accordion down and peg into place right there. It's really hard to see. And it's a lot of not fun to get that in there, but you have to make sure that the chest is pulled out far enough. And then you can push the chest in just a little bit, turn the entire figure around 180, come to the clear bits up top, unpeg these, and then like jazz, accordion them in to inside the backpack, and fold the entire backpack down and it'll peg into place right behind the head. Like so. And we are done. I lied, we're not done. We got to get the missiles up here. Peg it into this section up here. Be really careful because that peg is real hard to get in there. And then we can give him his gun. Now we're done. In terms of robot mode, Deluxe class Trax does look the part of Trax. However, my figure cannot stand up for more than 10 seconds. It's pathetic. Those feet are a nightmare and a disaster. But I will admit, that's a really good head sculpt. In order to display the figure and actually give you a look at it, I had to break out a figure stand. My figure will not stand up on his own, and that is because of these stupid feet and legs. I'll show you exactly what the problem is in just a moment. From an actual aesthetic standpoint, the figure is fine. The colors all work, the whites, the grays, the blues, they all work. As I said, that head sculpt is absolutely fantastic. But on the whole, the figure kind of sucks and is not much fun and is already kind of falling apart on me. Now, what's the problem exactly? Well, specifically, these front quarter panels that flip around don't peg in anywhere. There's nothing for them to peg into. There is this little indentation that looks like it's supposed to peg in to that slot right there, but they're too damn short. They are far too damn short. They do rest there loosely, but otherwise they don't peg in. And that's only on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, nothing doing. There's no friction or anything, which how do they screw this up so badly? Alright, posability-wise, head is on a ball joint, but is limited because it runs into the giant peg that holds the backpack on. Shoulders are on ratcheted swivels. Those are plastic swivels, but there's flashing in the joint that makes it stick at certain spots. There's a hinge for in and out movement, a swivel at the upper arm, bend at the elbow, no fist articulation. Torso swivel, the front skirt does get out of the way for a nice kick forward, a decent kick back even though it hits the backpack, a kick out, thigh swivel, bend at the knee. Alright, enough complaining. The ankle is a ball joint, but you can't do a Van Damme because look at all this. That gets in the way. As it is right now, I cannot recommend Trax to anybody. There's just too many problems with this mold for it to be enjoyable for any fan of the character, and which is a shame. It's a shame. This character deserves better. I get what they're going for with the transformation. I get what they're going for with the overall engineering. It's just not good. It's not. And that's the problem with it. I mean, look at all this empty space in here. It's completely hollow, and the legs are a mess, and no decent coat of paint or decent head sculpt can fix a crappy figure. As it stands right now, this is the worst figure in the Kingdom line, hands down. So folks, let me know what you think of this thing down in the comments. Be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Thank you so much for watching. I have been Baltmatrix, and man, I really hope the next wave has better figures.